Hi, I'm Jim.
Hi, I'm Karen.
And we do slow travel across the globe. Today's video, we did a side trip from Travnik and decided to go to Jajce, which has something very special about it that I'm going to let Karen explain.
They have natural waterfalls that are in the middle of city center.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
From the waterfalls, we did another little trip that was, how long did that take?
About 10 minutes outside of town.
10 minutes that Karen also found, and that was the little hut things. What
Watermills.
Watermills. And that was another wonderful little trip. After we saw the Watermills, that whole thing from the time we saw the Watermills, from the time we got to Jajce, saw the waterfall and the Watermills, how long did we spend? About an hour or hour and a half?
A couple hours, maybe two.
Let's say 2 hours. From there, we were going to head back to Travnik, and that's where things got a little bit exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll find out later what was so exciting about that trip.
We found a car park, and this is our walk down to the waterfall. There was an admission fee of 10 mark for both of us.
Bosnian mark.
Bosnian mark.
After the waterfall, we were making our way over to Jajce for the Old Town, where we decided to have a cup of coffee.
It was, we had to cross back over the river at this point. We had gotten back up from the waterfall, and it was a lovely town. It's a little touristic. It was Easter Sunday, so a lot of people were coming out. When we first got there, it wasn't too full, but it filled up quickly.
After walking over the bridge, you take a right, and in a short distance, you come up to the main gate of the city.
It is a walled city, and it was well preserved. I was really shocked at how people were driving in through that, by the way. Remember that? They were driving.
They were kind of making a left once they get past the gate, but it was a little disconcerting when you're walking around and seeing cars
when you're trying to get through this gate. It was a little bit of a tight squeeze, but it was lovely, and it was a gorgeous day, and I think everyone was having a really nice time.
There's another mosque. This, I think, is predominantly Muslim in this area. If you watched our last video, you know that we saw one of these colossal, giant-sized eggs in Travnik also.
I think it was in Mostar. I think it was in
that's right. It was Mostar.
It was in the park. But anyway, we've come across these. We're still looking for the bird. I'm not sure where that is, but I'm sure we're going to see it. It may be at the airport. Could be a 747.
We also weren't sure it was for Easter, but this kind of confirmed this was a decoration put up for Easter Sunday.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what that is. It could be just religious, too. On the way to Jajce Watermills? Watermills.
So we finally arrived at the Watermills, and it had to be my favorite part of the day. What did you think about it?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect. It was amazing. It's these small huts and a lot of water.
Besides just the Watermills, there was places where there were ducks and people were feeding them. Also, there's a swimming area, and just absolutely picturesque.
Picturesque, beautiful scenery. Would be great in the summertime. Okay, the next part of the video is kind of funny.
Funny now.
Oh, yeah, now.
Funny sitting on the couch and not in, 5 feet of snow.
We learned a valuable lesson.
Well, I don't know how valuable it was.
Well, it's valuable enough to know don't trust Google Maps.
Well, Google was right. There were roads there. Anyway, we had decided to take a alternate route back to Travnik.
That alternate route involved mountains.
Mountains.
And those snow-covered peaks that I always admire.
That you've seen us put on Facebook and that we've been enamored with through our trip through Bosnia. And when we were in Travnik, we were showing it out of the thing. Well, we got to see them up close and personal. It was really amazing.
Right in the middle of them. And we drove, I would say you drove about an hour.
About an hour.
In the mountains.
And what it did is it started us out on a pretty good road. 2 lanes. It had been plowed. And actually, there was a lot of water. What you're going to kind of hear in the back of the video is we're running through water. Well, that's snow that is melting. And so we started with 2 good clear lanes.
And we ended up going into
1.5
clear lanes.
So it was like 1 full lane and then half of the other lane. So at least 2 cars could get by it. Or at least you could kind of pull over a little bit.
And as we continued on the road,
we made another left as the GPS told us to do. And now I'm on a single track. And I would say that I'm not exaggerating. There were 5-foot drifts on side. But this is where the plow had cleared it. So it was halfway up the car.
Yep. And we kept going according to GPS until we got to
a place the GPS told us
to turn.
Make a left.
Which would have been around 6 foot of snow. Let's put it this way. The snow was almost as high as the car.
Yeah.
And because we don't have a 4-wheel drive.
We rented a Hyundai.
A 4-wheel drive Honda. We had to turn back and spend another hour heading back. So what you're going to see now is some of the most scenic videos we have ever done.
It was beautiful. It looked to me like almost like Switzerland. You had the hills going up the side and the little chalets and the houses with the snow on top of it. And it was gorgeous.
It was beautiful until we had to turn back.
Well, literally had to back up about a
quarter of a mile
in reverse with the snow on both sides because I could not turn around. There were no turnarounds. Like I said, the snowplow went through and locked up that. So I'm backing up a quarter of a mile. Jimmy's asking me not to get so pissed off. And if you know me, that's not very hard to do. I'm easy to get pissed off.
So the video now is edited version of going back.
Well, you didn't get to see the part where I was backing up and things because if Jimmy would have pulled out the camera, I would have beat him to death with it.
So in any case, here's the video. Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, you got to do it this way. You got to just hold it up. That is amazing. You know that snow that you've been admiring on top of the mountain?
Yep, this is it.
This is it.
This is the snow. Holy shit. For anybody watching the video right now, if there is sound, the reason you're hearing me saying holy shit is I'm afraid of heights, and this is really high up there.
This reminds me of when we were in Scotland.
Yeah.
But we didn't have snow.
Travnik.
In 1.2 miles, turn left.
Well, that's it for this little adventure. We want to thank you for watching.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We're just going to tell you that Bosnia is just constantly full of surprises, and we are just loving it.
So from here, we want to say goodbye.
Our next video will be on Banja Luka.
Banja Luka, which is also spelt unusual, but we pronounce it right now.
Maybe not. So Jimmy's now given me $100 and asked me to say, please subscribe and hit that like button.
Until next time,
Thank you for viewing our videos.
have a good day.